What's your number one problem? I'm going to ask you this right away. What's your number one problem? You probably thought of something that has to do with yourself, something you struggle to stay consistent with. Maybe it's lifting, maybe it's diet, maybe it's meditation, maybe it's social anxiety. All of it has to do with complacency. All of it has to do with comfort. These things don't get done when you sit in comfort. They don't get done when you're complacent. So your problem was most likely you are too complacent. And I don't blame you, because we live in a time where it's damn near impossible to not be in comfort. It's damn near impossible to not be complacent. Everything around us is made for us to be comfortable. That's what happens when you progress as a civilization. That's what happens when you progress as a society, when you advance so high. Everything becomes a luxury. Everything becomes comfort. But it's a problem for you. It becomes a problem. And if it wasn't already apparent by the David Goggins short you watched, stay hard. In order to progress, you need to force yourself to suffer. Take it back like 2 years ago, right? I think this is sophomore year of high school, the first semester. And I'm all sad, I'm all mopey, and I'm depressed. I went through literally it was like a month-long relationship. I barely knew the girl at the end of the fucking relationship, but I was so sad, whatever. It was my first girlfriend. And the thing is, I had all the comforts, right? I had everything that seemed to make everyone else happy. I had prawn, I had video games, I had an entire gaming computer, I had friends, I had it all. I had Mountain Dew whenever I wanted, but I was sad. Felt unfulfilled all the time. And then I stumbled upon, Hamza, the classic, the God Hamza, thank you Hamza, oh my God. Stumbled upon his how to completely change your life video, right? And it did completely change my life. The actionable steps actually fucking worked. I followed the actual advice in the video, and I began to feel happier every day. Staying consistent with whatever, I began to feel happier. And it's because the things he says to do aren't easy. It's not easy to lift every day. It's not easy to do anything. I mean, look at Sisyphus. He's pushing a boulder up a mountain. Ask anyone, the brain's going to be like, oh, that would make me sad because that hurts, and why am I doing it if there's no meaning? But that's why the saying, you got to imagine Sisyphus happy. Suffering makes you happy. To build muscle, you need to suffer. Suffer through the pain, physical pain that comes with lifting. To socialize, get better with your social anxiety, you need to suffer. Step out of your comfort zone and talk to some random person while your heart's thumping 100 miles per hour. You need to just force yourself through it, and it's suffering. To quit an addiction, you need to suffer, whether it be an actual drug addiction or it be like a prawn addiction. You're going to get urges, and your brain is going to be doing everything it can to make you do that thing again. But you need to suffer through and provide discipline. You need to suffer to progress. And suffering will make you fulfilled. It will make you proud. Suffering will up your self-respect so much. And self-respect and self-esteem, basically synonyms, right? They mean the same thing for all you dunces out there. And self-esteem is pretty much the base of mental health, right? How you view yourself. That's how you become content, is viewing yourself in a respectable way. And obviously that will make people just respect you more in general. If you view yourself with respect, you'll be confident. Comes with all the great perks. And I've got to say, you have to be grateful. You could write this down next time you gratitude journal or something. I'm grateful that I have to force myself to suffer. Because there's people in other countries, third world countries, they don't get to choose. They wake up and they suffer. But their character is probably very strong. Probably a lot stronger than most Americans. That's what suffering does. It builds character. Whether you're forced to suffer or you get to choose to suffer. And you get to choose to suffer. Be grateful for that. You can choose to suffer. So don't be a pussy. Make the choice to suffer. It's for your own good. I'm not one of those people who are like 100% self-improvement, discipline lifestyle. Sure, there's like months, like whatever they call it, monk mode, where it's just discipline, consistency, and focus on whatever. No instant gratification. But in day-to-day life, just normal life, I would say it's 80% delayed gratification, 20% instant. A ratio similar to that. There's nothing wrong with that. And the thing about suffering is that when you suffer, instant gratification things, like sitting down with your buddies and cuddling up in the fireplace and watching a movie, that becomes so much more pleasurable when you suffer most of the time. It becomes so much more pleasurable. Just listening to music, you suffer 80, 90% of your day. Then 10% you listen to a bomb-ass song, right? Shit will hit. Shit will feel good. Compared to 100% of your day. This is how most people live. 100% of their day is instant gratification. Can you believe that? 100% of your day being instant gratification. You get home and you literally just go on TikTok and watch movies. That's crazy. And they don't even enjoy what they do. They don't enjoy watching movies or TikTok. It just gets their mind off their life. So when you suffer, instant gratification doesn't just become an escapism method. It doesn't just become something to get your mind off the struggles of life. It becomes something you enjoy. It becomes something you can appreciate, something you can be grateful for. Suffering is great. Suffering is part of human nature. We're one of the only creatures, hell, the only creature who can choose to suffer. We can make the mental decision. We have enough intelligence where we can do things that will hurt mentally, physically, to progress. So take advantage of it. This is your best trait. This is your best trait. You can force yourself to suffer. So today, I want you to do one thing. This is your actionable step, right? As Hamza puts it. Do one thing that makes you suffer. I haven't done cardio in so long. I'm going to run. Because running hurts, but it makes you feel so good after. Maybe you run too. Maybe you'll talk to some random person. Maybe you'll stay consistent with your diet. Maybe you'll refrain from touching your little peener wiener. Just suffer. At least once. Baby steps. If you want to speak to me, like always, my Discord is in the description. And I got some free suffering workouts in the description too. You can click on that. Get some free ways to suffer while you're at it. If this video hits 1 billion likes, I'll make a full guide to suffering. I'll see you in the next one.